The story begins by revealing that out of nowhere, vampires suddenly appeared in the world. Slowly and secretly, they started living among humans, hiding their true identities. At night, they would attack people in the darkness, but during the day, they blended in and lived like ordinary citizens. Vampires possessed terrifying powers that no human could stand against, and fear spread so rapidly that people eventually stopped stepping outside their homes. The scene then shifts to a school where a teacher welcomes a girl named Sooha and explains that this is a night school, so classes begin after sunset. Sooha had been suddenly transferred there, and the teacher apologizes, saying that no rooms are available in the new hostel, so she will have to stay in the old hostel building instead. Sooha calmly says it's not a problem and that she can adjust. The teacher then warns her that she is not allowed to leave the school after evening because a murder recently occurred nearby, and it is believed that a vampire was responsible. Hearing this, Sooha is slightly shocked. The teacher further explains that going outside could put her life in danger, so she must be careful. At that moment, a boy appears, and both of them look at each other in surprise before he walks away. The teacher then escorts Sooha to her room, and after thanking her, Sooha enters and says to herself that she will now be living alone, excited that she'll have freedom with no restrictions. Suddenly, the same boy appears in front of her again, shocking her. The boy, whose name is Healy, is equally stunned when he sees Sooha effortlessly lifting a heavy bed as if it weighs nothing. A flashback reveals people accusing Sooha of being a vampire and planning to burn her alive. Panicking, Sooha quickly drops the bed and nervously tells Healy that what he saw isn't true. She insists that she is not a vampire and begs him to trust her. Healy calmly responds that it's fine and that he knows vampires cannot enter this place anyway. Sooha then says that she doesn't want anyone to suspect her, and in fact, she hates vampires more than anything in this world. She declares that she wants to eliminate every single vampire that exists. Hearing this, Healy is slightly taken aback. Trying to change the atmosphere, Sooha asks if he came to get his book, then picks up a very old book and shows it to him. Healy explains that he loves reading old legends and ancient stories. After that, Healy asks for her name. Sooha becomes shy and, hesitating slightly, tells him her name. Healy introduces himself as well and says that he is in the 12th grade. Then he says goodbye to her and leaves. Later, a few people are shown talking about the transfer student. Healy mentions that the girl will be staying in the place where they used to live, and they discuss moving their belongings from there. At that moment, two more boys arrive. Tan says that they should not become friends with her. Healy replies that he knows that, but the girl is truly different from everyone else. Chaka then asks if she is like them. Everyone responds no, saying that there is no one else here like them, and it is then revealed that all of them are vampires. Healy admits that he doesn't know why, but he feels strangely drawn toward her. Solon questions whether beings like them can even have such feelings, and adds that even if they tried to befriend her, she would never accept them. The scene then shifts to nighttime as classes are about to begin. Just then, Sooha arrives, and the moment she sees Healy, she runs toward him. At the same time, Solon warns everyone to stay away from the transfer student, and Sooha overhears his words. Hearing Solon's words, Sooha becomes extremely shocked and heartbroken, stopping in her tracks. The group suddenly notices her and is startled, wondering if she overheard everything they said. Seeing her upset, they quickly try to fix the situation and talk about becoming friends with her, which instantly makes Sooha happy again. Just then, Jan steps forward and tells her to forget whatever Solon said about her. He explains that Solon looks a little unattractive, which makes him jealous of others, and that's why he doesn't let anyone befriend someone new. Hearing this, Solon angrily snaps back, asking what nonsense Jan is talking about and whether he has lost his mind just because a girl showed up. After that, Healy offers to show Sooha around the entire school, and she agrees. The others also decide to join them. Colon sarcastically comments that it doesn't take so many people to show one girl around the school. Gino replies that if he doesn't want to come, he doesn't have to. No one is forcing him. Hearing that, Colon quietly follows them anyway. Together, they give Sooha a full tour of the campus. During the tour, Siro explains that although they are all in different classes, they have grown up together since childhood, which is why they share such a strong bond of friendship. Suddenly, a ball comes flying straight towards Sooha. In an instant, Jan stops it and uses his power to shatter it into pieces. Angrily, he says that people should at least know how to play properly. He then quickly asks Sooha if she is hurt. Sooha becomes extremely shy and runs away, especially since Healy had just pulled her into a protective hug. As she leaves, she runs into Solon and thanks him for pulling her uniform earlier to save her from getting hit by the ball. At that moment, Colon sternly tells her not to even think about becoming friends with him. Hearing this, Sooha suddenly bursts into tears. Colon is confused and asks why she's crying when he hasn't even done anything. Awkwardly trying to fix the situation, he changes his tone and says that fine, she can be his friend, apologizes for his behavior, and walks away. Later, Healy and Sooha are seen walking together. As they talk, Healy tells her not to take Solon's words to heart because there is a hidden secret behind their behavior. Just then, Sooha reveals that she had just heard his thoughts. Healy explains that this ability is called telepathy and admits that it is his special power. However, he asks her to keep it a secret. After classes end, the group forcefully insists on helping Sooha clean her room. During that time, Healy continues talking to her through telepathy. Solon suddenly questions why Healy is speaking to Sooha through telepathy and why he revealed his power to her. The others respond by saying that they all have powers too and should not be underestimated. One by one, they begin demonstrating their abilities. Sion possesses spider-like powers, Chand has immense physical strength, Chino controls elemental forces, and Noah wields the power of darkness. Seeing their abilities leaves Sooha completely stunned, and then her gaze slowly shifts towards Solon. Noticing her stare, Solon awkwardly asks why she is looking at him like that, and claims that he doesn't have any special power. Sooha continues staring at him more intensely. Finally, Solon hesitantly admits that he does have a power, but he cannot show it here right now. In the next scene, Solon confronts Healy, asking why he revealed his power to Sooha when they all know they are supposed to keep their distance from humans. He reminds him that they are vampires. The scene then transitions into a darker nighttime setting. Later that night, Sooha goes outside to throw trash into the dustbin. Suddenly, a boy appears there. Without thinking, Sooha grabs his hand, flips him to the ground, and demands to know if he is a vampire. Another boy rushes in angrily, asking how she dared to attack him, but Sooha immediately punches him as well. Soon, 2 more boys arrive. Sooha asks if all of them are vampires. They respond that they are not vampires. In fact, they hate vampires and want to eliminate them from this world. They reveal that they are students from Sunshine City School. Sahil is impressed by Sooha's strength and asks if she practices martial arts. Sooha casually replies that she knows a little. They then explain that they actually came here to investigate a recent incident. At that moment, Jaka and Noah arrive, and it becomes clear that the 2 groups already know each other. Dane explains that the student who was murdered was actually from their school. Hearing this, Noah responds coldly, saying it has nothing to do with them. Danka angrily fires back, saying that everyone seems to believe they are behind the incident and questions how they even dare to accuse them like that. The argument escalates quickly, and both sides are just about to attack each other when Sooha suddenly steps in and stops them. Jaka is shocked and says that she managed to hold them back so easily with her bare hands. Who exactly is this girl? Just then, Healy arrives and asks what is going on. He begins taking Sooha away from there, but the others stop him, saying the conversation isn't over yet. They suspiciously accuse him, claiming they believe he might be the one who killed the student. Hearing this, Healy becomes furious and says that even if he had done it, there would be nothing they could do to him. Sahil, enraged, is about to attack Healy. Healy's anger explodes as well, and his eyes turn red. But before anything happens, Sooha steps between them and stops them both instantly. The moment she speaks, it feels as if everyone freezes in place. No one understands what just happened. Healy apologizes to Sooha, saying he didn't listen to her earlier and asks her to forgive him. He then turns to everyone and declares that whatever is left unresolved between them will be settled on the sports ground, since their teams are going to face each other in a nightball match the next day. After saying this, they begin to leave. As they walk away, Enji notices Solon. Looking at him carefully, Enji tells the others that he just remembered something important and will catch up with them later. In the next scene, Solon is shown staring at the moon as he slowly begins transforming into a werewolf. Suddenly, Enji appears and says he already knew the truth about him. There is no need to hide anymore because he knows that Solon is a werewolf, just like him. Solon coldly responds that he is nothing like him. Enji responds by saying that this means Solon is not just a werewolf, but also a vampire. He adds that even Solon's own friends don't know about his werewolf side yet. Then, changing the topic, Enji reminds him that a student from their school was murdered a few days ago. He explains that the victim had 2 bite marks on his neck and not a single drop of blood left in his body, and as he says this, he keeps staring directly at Solon. Solon firmly states that none of them committed that crime. He admits that sometimes they do feel the urge, but they control themselves and never harm humans. Enji replies that it's the same for them. They may feel the instinct, but they have never hurt a human either. Enji then says he wants to know Solon's secret, how he can be half werewolf and half vampire. Solon explains that hybrids like him, beings who are both werewolf and vampire, were possibly created in a laboratory. However, no one truly knows the full truth behind this mystery yet. After saying that, Enji tells him they will meet again and leaves. The scene then shifts, showing Sooha saying that just like Khan and his friends, she also hates vampires. She reveals that a vampire once killed one of her close friends. After this, Jaka says he doesn't believe Sooha is a normal girl at all. She is far more powerful than she appears. They explain that while returning from training, they sensed an incredibly terrifying energy. When they followed it, they realized that the energy was coming from Sooha, and it was unlike anything they had ever felt before. They also recall that when the fight was about to break out earlier, Sooha told everyone to stop, and they all froze instantly. It was as if they were bound by her words, completely under her control. Everyone agrees with that statement, admitting that they truly couldn't move at all when Sooha told them to stop. Just then, Solon walks in angrily and says how many times has he told them not to enter his room. Healy reminds him that because of them, Sooha must not face any kind of problem. That's exactly why Solon insists that he should end his friendship with her. Hearing this, the others also reluctantly agree to distance themselves from Sooha. However, the very next day, Sion asks Sooha if she would like to go out with him. Ironically, just a day ago they were talking about cutting ties with her, and now he's trying to grow closer instead. While Sion is still asking Sooha to hang out, Solon suddenly appears and questions what he thinks he's doing, reminding him of the discussion they had the previous day. But Sion completely ignores him and keeps asking Sooha to go out with him. Solon, getting irritated, asks if he's even listening. Sooha then asks innocently whether it will be just the 2 of them. Sion quickly replies yes, only the 2 of them. Immediately, someone else interrupts, saying no, he's coming along too. Annoyed, Sion tells Solon to mind his own business and stop interfering. Solon firmly declares that no matter what happens, he will not allow Sion to go alone with Sooha, because they all decided yesterday to keep their distance from her. Sion laughs and says he was just joking yesterday, and that there's no need to take it so seriously. After all, mistakes are something humans make. Someone sarcastically comments that he's not human, he's a vampire. Sion shoots back, asking whether vampires don't have hearts. Hearing this, Solon becomes extremely angry and uses telepathy to inform everyone that Sion is planning to go out alone with Sooha this week. The others are shocked and immediately start questioning him, asking if he's really going alone with her. Shan declares that this is completely unfair and says he will go too. Someone tries to silence him, but gradually everyone begins insisting on joining the outing. Tyan finally tells Sion to look at the mess he has created. Because of him, now everyone wants to come along. After this, the scene shifts to Sooha as she is selecting her clothes for the outing. At that moment, her past is shown. In the flashback, a boy approaches her and introduces himself as Chris. He tells her that he has heard many people say she is a vampire, but he believes she is not. He adds that just like her, he also feels alone in this world, and he asks if she would like to be friends with him. Sooha is slightly shocked because no one had ever asked to be her friend like that before. After a brief hesitation, she agrees. The two of them grow close, spend a lot of time together, and genuinely enjoy each other's company. The scene then returns to the present, where Sooha is waiting for her friends. Soon, Cyan arrives alone. Sooha asks about the others, and Cyan says he doesn't know. Maybe they betrayed them and decided not to show up. He shrugs it off and tells her not to worry, promising to show her the entire city himself. Deep down, Sooha remembers that Healy had said he would come, and she wonders why he hasn't arrived. She convinces herself that he must have gotten busy with something important. After that, Cyan and Sooha spend time together, roaming around and enjoying themselves. Meanwhile, the others are shown heading out to meet Sooha, only to realize that Cyan isn't with them. They quickly understand that he tricked them. Through telepathy, Jan angrily confronts Cyan, reminding him that he told them to come at 5 o'clock. Cyan casually replies that he said 4 o'clock, and since they didn't show up, his heart was broken. He dramatically adds that they are a disgrace to the name of friendship. Hearing this, Tolan shouts furiously that he will drink his blood and demands to know how he dared to go alone. Cyan snaps back, asking what their problem is, and tells them not to disturb because they are having a private conversation. After this, Sooha thanks Cyan for coming to spend time with her. Cyan suggests they go for a boat ride and leaves to buy the tickets. Just then, Healy speaks to Sooha through telepathy, apologizing and saying that something urgent came up, but he is on his way to meet her now. Sooha replies that it's okay and that she'll wait for him. She then thinks she should inform Cyan about it, so she goes looking for him. On the way, she notices a strange alley and assumes she might have taken a wrong turn, deciding to head back. But suddenly, a vampire drags her inside. Sooha is terrified at the sight of him. Gathering her courage, she lifts the vampire and slams him hard onto the ground. However, he gets back up as if nothing happened. Seeing his glowing red eyes makes her even more frightened. Just as he is about to attack her, Cyan arrives and strikes the vampire, throwing him against a wall. Cyan quickly asks Sooha if she's okay, but the monster suddenly attacks Cyan instead. Seeing this, Sooha throws a powerful punch, but she misses. The vampire is about to strike Sooha when Healy suddenly appears and saves her. At the same moment, Jan arrives and punches the monster so hard that it crashes into a wall. Despite that, the creature stands up again and demands that they hand the girl over to him quietly. Everyone is shocked, wondering why he wants Sooha. Suddenly, many more vampires appear behind them and begin advancing to attack. Jan immediately tells Jaka to take Sooha and get her out of there. Jaka grabs her and runs. Meanwhile, the others fight together, taking down the vampires one by one, but they just keep coming endlessly. No one understands what is really happening. After an intense battle, they finally manage to defeat all of them. Afterward, they begin wondering who could have sent those vampires. Healy says they clearly didn't come without a reason. Their target was obviously Sooha, and someone extremely powerful must be behind this. The scene then shows Sooha looking deeply disturbed. She thanks Jaka for saving her. Suddenly, her eyes fall on a figure standing behind her. It is none other than Chris, her childhood best friend. Seeing him, Sooha is completely shocked. A flashback appears, showing Sooha running into a church, where it is revealed that a vampire had killed Chris. She is seen crying uncontrollably over his lifeless body. The scene shifts back to the present, where Sooha is still in deep shock. Then, Chris softly calls her name. The moment she hears his voice, she runs toward him. But just then, Healy speaks to Sooha through telepathy, asking if she's okay and whether she's hurt anywhere. Hearing his voice in her mind, Sooha suddenly stops in her tracks and replies that she's completely fine. Healy apologizes for not reaching her in time. Sooha reassures him, saying it's all right, they arrived at exactly the right moment. Suddenly, Khan appears there. Looking at Sooha, he says that the two of them have met again, but asks what exactly is going on here. Sooha is about to explain when she looks ahead, but Chris has already disappeared. She freezes in confusion, wondering if it was really Chris and where he vanished so suddenly.
Khan then asks if someone else was here with her. Before Sooha can answer, Jaka steps in and says it's none of his concern. Sooha came here with them and he shouldn't interfere. Khan responds sharply that he isn't talking to Jaka, he's talking to Sooha, so he should stay out of it. At that moment, Khan's friends also arrive and mention that they keep running into her again. Almost simultaneously, Sooha's friends show up too, and the two groups clearly aren't happy to see each other. Sooha explains to Khan that a vampire suddenly attacked her. Khan is shocked and questions how vampires could appear during the daytime. He demands to know where they are and insists on being taken to them immediately. John replies that they've already taken care of all the vampires and that Khan doesn't need to worry. They didn't need his help anyway. Khan becomes furious and accuses them of being careless, asking how they could leave Sooha alone like that. What if something had happened to her? He adds that if she had been with them, she wouldn't have gotten even a scratch because these people can't handle anything properly. Hearing this, John also loses his temper. Khan turns to Sooha and tells her that if she values her life, she should stay away from them because they can't be trusted. Just then, Tahir steps forward and says that next week she should spend time with them instead. They'll make sure nothing happens to her. Immediately, Sion interrupts, saying Sooha won't be going anywhere with them next week because she's already going out with his group instead. Sooha looks confused and says that she never agreed to any such plan. Khan calmly replies that fine, then they'll meet next weekend instead. But Sion immediately interrupts, saying they already have plans for that weekend too, and the one after that as well. In fact, according to him, Sooha will be spending every weekend with them, so there's simply no chance left for anyone else. The moment he says this, both sides start arguing again and the atmosphere heats up once more. Tahir angrily glares at Tyan and warns him not to even think about touching Sooha or he'll make rivers of blood flow. Tyan refuses to back down and openly challenges him. Just as the tension reaches its peak, Tyan suddenly changes the topic and casually tells Sooha that his birthday party is in 3 weeks, asking if she would come. Sooha calmly replies that if it's a birthday party, then of course she'll attend. Hearing this, Tahir and Khan mock Tyan, saying they would never attend some poor guy's party. Tyan sarcastically shoots back that he never invited them anyway. But as soon as Sooha says that if it's a party, everyone should celebrate together, Tahir and Nazak instantly change their stance and declare that if Sooha is going, then they're definitely coming too, and no one can stop them now. Once again, the situation turns into loud arguments and rising tension between both groups. Meanwhile, Sooha quietly stares at the exact spot where Chris had been standing earlier. The uneasiness on her face is clearly visible. On the other side, Khan and his friends walk together, discussing how a vampire attack during the daytime is completely abnormal, especially when the target was only Sooha. They suspect that there must be a bigger conspiracy or hidden mystery behind it. Khan points out something even stranger. Some vampires were actually helping Sooha and attacking their own kind, which makes no sense at all. The scene shifts to Sooha sitting alone, lost in thoughts about Prince. She questions herself, was the person she saw today really Prince? But Prince died long ago, and yet he called her name. If he is truly alive, then why didn't he come to see her all this time? Overwhelmed by these thoughts, tears begin to fall from her eyes. Later, she is seen restlessly pacing back and forth. Suddenly, Chris appears in front of her, smiling softly and saying that he missed her a lot. Sooha, shocked, asks how he is alive and whether he is really her Chris. He replies that yes, he is the same Chris and that meeting her again makes him happy. But in the very next moment, Sooha wakes up and realizes it was only a dream. Panicked, she runs to the same place where she saw him, but no one is there.
She looks up at the sky and says that the moon is full tonight, so why does it still feel so dark? Just then, the red moon, the dark moon, appears, and in the distance, werewolves can be heard howling. Those werewolves are actually Khan's friends. However, Khan himself cannot fully transform into a complete werewolf. He wonders why he always ends up transforming only halfway. Feeling frustrated, he stares up at the dark moon. At that moment, his eyes fall on Sooha, and she notices him too. Khan wonders what she is doing out so late and thinks she looks beautiful in her uniform. Meanwhile, Sooha wonders why Khan looks different tonight. Blushing slightly, she says she forgot to change her clothes in a hurry. Khan jokes that sometimes he walks out like that too, and the two of them end up laughing together. Khan asks Sooha why she came out so late at night, and Sooha replies that she couldn't sleep, so she came to the seashore to watch the full moon. Khan explains that tonight is a total eclipse when the sun, the moon, and the earth align in a straight line, which makes the night very special. Then Sooha asks him what he is doing there and where his friends are. Khan says that he also came to see the eclipse while the others are sleeping. In the end, he asks if she would like him to walk her back to the hostel, and Sooha agrees. After that, the two of them leave together. In the next scene, all the friends are talking among themselves when Cyan arrives, looking exhausted and upset. Everyone asks him what happened and why he looks so disturbed. Cyan says he is tired of searching for Sooha everywhere, but he couldn't find her, even though he needs to give her an invitation letter. Jan tells him that if he is so tired, he can deliver the letter instead. Gino steps forward and says there is no need for Cyan to work so hard, he will give it to her himself. Nova confidently says that since he is still alive and well, everyone else can relax and he will deliver the letter immediately. Then Chaka, calling himself the most sensible one, insists that he should be the one to hand over the letter. Hearing all this, Cyan gets irritated, snatches the letter from everyone's hands, and declares that he will give it to Sooha himself and does not need anyone's help.
Just then, Gino says that maybe he knows where Sooha might be at this time. The scene shifts to the library, where Haley has come to return one of Sooha's old books. Sooha asks Haley if he finished reading the book and whether he found it interesting. Haley replies that it is a fascinating book filled with stories of ancient kingdoms along with detailed histories of vampires and werewolves. He even recommends that Sooha should read it herself. Sooha then brings up the topic of the total eclipse and asks whether werewolves fully transform on that night. Haley confirms that they do, and adds that if a werewolf sees a girl during that night, he falls in love with her and remains devoted to her for the rest of his life. He then asks if she watched yesterday's eclipse. Sooha says yes, she was at the seashore, and Khan was the one who told her about it. The moment Haley hears Khan's name, he is visibly shocked. Seeing his reaction, Sooha starts wondering why Haley reacted that way and why the two of them do not get along. Perhaps it has something to do with the annual night match competition that creates rivalry between them. Before leaving, Haley tells Sooha that if she ever feels anything strange or unusual, she should tell him without hesitation. Just then, the rest of the friends arrive at the library. Sooha asks them if they also came to borrow books. John dramatically declares that the love for reading runs in his blood. Tion claims he came to get a book on quantum mechanics. Jaka immediately exposes them, telling them to stop lying, and even points out to Nova that he should at least hold the book properly if he wants to pretend. Gino bluntly admits that among all of them, only Haley genuinely likes reading books, the rest are completely useless. Cyan scolds him for revealing the truth. John, still overconfident, insists that he should not be included in that group because he has even torn through 3 lines of a book. Soon, Solon arrives, and Jiro tells him that according to Sooha, werewolf love stories are very romantic. Solon calls that nonsense and argues that vampires are far superior. Hearing this, Sooha suddenly gets angry and says that vampires do not understand love at all. They show no mercy to humans and kill innocent people, turning them into vampires. Everyone is shocked by her intense reaction and loudly agrees that vampires are nothing but killers and that werewolves are better than them. The atmosphere suddenly becomes heavy. Haley gently comforts Sooha, telling her that they understand her feelings and will always stand by her side. The scene changes as Solon suggests that maybe a vampire once killed Sooha's friend, which is why she hates them so much. However, Haley feels the real reason might be different. Ever since childhood, because of her unusual endurance and the way she was different from others, people often mistook her for a vampire, which may have filled her heart with resentment. Cheon then realizes that while listening to her, he completely forgot to give her the letter. Haley takes the letter from his hand and steps forward to give it to Sooha. The scene shifts again to a train, where an old woman is seen looking out the window toward the city. With a mysterious smile, she says, "Finally, I have found you." Next, we are shown Sun Sign City School, which is Khan's school. There, Khan, Najak, Angie, and Tahil are discussing strategies for the upcoming Nightball game. Najak enthusiastically explains the plan for the big match ahead. However, he pays no attention to what is being explained in front of him. After a while, Najak asks him if he understood the game strategy. Khan responds absent-mindedly, "Yeah, did you say something?" Hearing this, everyone is shocked. Tahil and Enji question him, asking since when he has been so distracted and whether he listened to even a single word they said. Khan casually replies that they probably just told him to play well. His friends grow frustrated, wondering when he will ever change and why he is behaving so strangely today. But the truth is that Khan's mind is somewhere else entirely. He is only thinking about Sooha. Even when they repeatedly ask him what is wrong, he avoids the topic by saying that everything is fine. Just then, Tahil hands him an invitation card for Sion's birthday party. The card has a picture of a dog on it, which makes everyone start joking and questioning whether they should even attend the party. Khan finds himself conflicted. On one hand, he wants to go so he can see Sooha, but on the other hand, he does not want to reveal his feelings. In the end, without saying anything, he simply walks out of the room. His friends are left confused, wondering what has happened to him and why he seems so different today. The scene then shifts to Sion and his friends sitting together. They ask him whether he really sent an invitation to Khan and his friends. Sion reluctantly admits that he had no other choice because Sooha wanted it that way. Hearing this, the others become upset and argue that just because Sooha wants something does not mean he has to agree to everything she says. Jan clearly states that he does not want to celebrate his birthday with werewolves at all. Chaka adds that he does not understand what Sooha even sees in them. Someone then points out that the real reason might be that Sooha hates vampires, which is why she prefers werewolves. The atmosphere suddenly turns heavy and serious. Everyone fears that one day Sooha might start hating them as well. In the middle of this tense discussion, Nova raises a question. Why do humans hate them so much? What have they actually done to deserve such hatred? Jaka explains that many vampires around the world have harmed humans, so people naturally assume they are all the same. It is not entirely the humans' fault. Gino adds that they cannot force Sooha to trust them, especially when no one has ever truly trusted them before. Restlessly, Sion asks if there is any other way to fix this. Suddenly, a dangerous idea comes to his mind. He suggests that they could reveal to Sooha that Solon is a vampire and then eliminate him in front of everyone so that Sooha would completely side with them. The moment he says this, Solon explodes in anger. He asks if Sion has lost his mind. Are they really thinking about killing him just for a girl? Shocked and hurt, he turns to Gino and demands to know if he is also supporting this madness. The others quickly try to calm the situation, telling them not to take things so far, but the argument only grows more intense. Someone points out that they were only talking about the possibility, not actually planning to do it. However, Will immediately distances himself from the idea, firmly stating that he is not going to die for anyone and should not be dragged into this insanity. The atmosphere becomes completely heated and chaotic. Solon speaks in a serious tone and explains that there is still time. They should stay a little distant from Sooha for now. If the day ever comes when she finds out that they are all vampires, she might walk away from them forever. She might not even want to see their faces again. A heavy silence fills the room.
The scene shifts to Sooha sitting alone. Haley approaches her, and she smiles, asking what he is doing there. Haley hands her an invitation card for a birthday party. Sooha's face lights up as she asks whose birthday it is. With a soft smile, Haley explains that it is all of theirs. He tells her that they all left the orphanage on the same day, and since none of them know their real birthdays, they celebrate that day together as their shared birthday. Hearing this, Sooha becomes emotional and says that now she understands. Meanwhile, Solon reminds his friends of their past. Have they forgotten what happened to them? The story shifts into a flashback. The orphanage appears on screen, the place they once escaped from. Frightened and helpless, the children had run away together, traveling a long distance with nowhere to go. Eventually, they saw a small house and gathered the courage to approach it. The door opened, and a young girl stepped outside. One look at them was enough for her to realize they had run away. Gently, she offered them shelter, saying they could stay at her house if they wanted. That was the moment their lives began to change. She assured them that she would not tell anyone they were hiding there. Haley and the others were sitting quietly when Janika looked out the window and noticed chickens roaming in the yard. He complained that he was extremely hungry. In a calm voice, Solon suggested that if they were that hungry, they could drink the chicken's blood. Driven by unbearable hunger, they caught one of the chickens together and began drinking its blood. Just then, the girl returned with tea for them, saying she thought they must be starving. But the moment she saw them, she froze in shock. Their mouths were covered in blood. They were truly drinking the chicken's blood. Fear overtook her, and her mind went completely numb. Seeing this, the boys panic as well. They immediately realize that it is no longer safe to stay there. Without wasting a second, they run away, sprinting as far as they can until they finally stop, exhausted and crying. Just then, a mysterious woman appears in front of them. In a firm, commanding voice, she says, "That's enough. You've run far enough. Now come with me." The scene returns to the present. Haley gently asks Sooha if she was truly very close to Chris. With quiet sadness, Sooha explains that because of her powers, people used to mistake her for a vampire, even though she never was one. But Chris always trusted her. He believed everything she said, and they were very happy together. She shares that once, Chris even asked her to bite his neck to prove that she was not a vampire. Then one day, a fire broke out in his house, and no one dared to go inside to save him. Sooha used her powers to rescue him, and that was the day she felt her abilities were meant for something good. But later, during a vampire attack, Chris lost his life. Listening to all this, Haley grows serious and then says, "All right, let's try something." Half jokingly, Haley says, "Why don't you bite my neck and see for yourself? You'll know the truth." Sooha blushes deeply at once. Hesitantly, she replies, "No, how can I do that? Wouldn't that be too strange?" Haley smiles and says, "It's normal. You can bite me, I don't mind." But Sooha firmly refuses. So Haley gently responds, "Okay, don't. Just understand one thing. I trust you." With a faint smile, Sooha suddenly turns the question back on him. "Then, would you like to bite my neck?" Haley is completely stunned. "What? How can I bite you? You do realize what you're saying, right?" Sooha laughs softly and says, "Just like you're feeling shy right now, I was hesitating too." Haley awkwardly tries to recover from the moment, but then Sooha's expression turns serious. She looks at him and says quietly, "Actually, I hate vampires, more than I can even explain." Hearing this, Haley understands that there is nothing more he can say about it. Standing up, he says softly, "All right, we'll talk later. Just make sure you come to the birthday party on time. Everyone will be waiting for you." As he leaves, Sooha thanks him for the invitation, and Haley smiles, repeating that they will all be waiting for her. The scene shifts. Khan is engaged in a serious discussion with his friends Ma, Ruslan, and Camel.
Ma explains that he's been investigating some mysterious incidents. Several humans have gone missing from the city, and at the same time, the number of werewolves has been rapidly decreasing. The atmosphere turns tense. Concerned, Khan warns him to be careful, saying that something could happen to him as well. Then Ma asks, "By the way, what about those guys, Solan and his group?" After thinking for a moment, Khan replies, "I don't think they're as bad as we once believed." Khan tells them that just yesterday, those same people fought against a vampire to save a girl's life. Hearing this, Ma immediately cautions him, "Don't get involved with them. They might just be pretending to be good." Khan calmly responds, "As far as I can tell, they seem good, but what lies ahead, I don't know either." After a long discussion, they end the call, and Khan walks out of the room. Meanwhile, Tahan and Renji worry about his strange behavior, wondering what has gotten into him. Najak reassures them, saying, "Don't stress. Khan can't be wrong. We couldn't ask for a better leader. Just focus on the night ball." The next scene reveals a beautiful house deep in the forest, where Haley and his friends are busy preparing for the birthday party. Everyone is decorating together. Suddenly, Solan asks, "Do you think Khan and his group will come?" Nova replies, "I'm not sure, but we did invite them. If they want to come, they will. If not, that's fine. But we should make sure our preparations are perfect," Nova says confidently. Will agrees with him. Everyone focuses on their responsibilities, and soon the decorations turn out beautiful. The atmosphere is filled with excitement and happiness. But suddenly, everything changes. The cake slips from Haley's hands and falls straight to the ground. In a single moment, it feels like all their hard work has been ruined, and silence takes over the room. Frustrated and upset, Haley says, "Oh no, what have I done? I accidentally dropped the cake." Everyone is shocked for a second, but then they quickly pull themselves together. "It's okay," they say. "We still have time. We can make another one." Jaka is immediately sent to bring all the ingredients again. Showing his speed and efficiency, he returns in no time with everything they need. Together, they remake the cake, and once again, all the preparations are completed perfectly. The decorations look amazing, and the house feels warm and festive. Just then, Sooha arrives. Seeing the beautiful house in the middle of the forest, she is truly impressed. Smiling, she says, "Haley, this place is really wonderful." Haley explains that when they left the orphanage, a kind lady gave them shelter here and took care of them. After she passed away, they made this house their own. Sooha asks if they come here often. Haley replies, "Not always, only sometimes, like during summer vacations or when we just want to relax." As they continue talking, Khan and his friends arrive from behind. The moment Sooha sees Gaman, a different kind of happiness lights up her face. But watching this, Haley feels a slight sting of jealousy. He does not like seeing Sooha looking so happy around Khan.